Hi, my name is Rachel. Welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm now 6 months out from having a baby. I had a baby 6 months ago, and I'm 3 months out in the future from competing in my next powerlifting competition. It will be my 13th one. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about bouncing back after pregnancy, why I don't think you should be focused on that at all, and instead why I think you should be focusing on physically what your body can do, and then getting stronger, and then inevitably the physical results will follow. So talk about my process, how all of that went for me, and some tips to help you on your journey if you're postpartum and you're trying to get your groove back. And then I'm 13 weeks out from competing, so I'm really excited about all of the new fitness challenges to come. But let's just go ahead and hop right into the video. All right, hopping right into my talk on bouncing back after pregnancy and why I do not think that you should be focused on that. As I'm doing this talk, I'm going to overlay some pictures and some videos of the changes that my body went through during pregnancy and postpartum. And inevitably, with working hard, training hard, and just being healthy, living a healthy lifestyle, eating healthy, I have gotten back to looking how I did before pregnancy, and that was a process over time. And I don't think that you should compare your journey to someone else's, because someone might be looking the exact same in 2 months, where someone else might be looking the exact same in 2 years. It's really just an individual process. And if you're hyper fixated on comparing yourself to others, comparing yourself to your previous self, then you're going to be eating yourself alive, and you're going to be going crazy, and you're not going to be enjoying life, because honestly, the least interesting thing about you should be how you look. And that's why my training philosophy is training to be stronger, and just an inevitable side effect is that you're going to look better with time. So over time, when you first birth a human, that's an amazing accomplishment. You grew a baby inside of your belly for 9 months. You birthed an entire human being. That is crazy. You need a rest. You need to let your body heal, and you need to give yourself gratitude for what you've done. Take it easy. Honestly, when I gave birth, I was not even looking at myself in the mirror. I was just like, I felt my stomach, it felt squishy. My uterus was still huge, because that's just what happens after birth. Your uterus grows during pregnancy, and then it shrinks back down gradually within the weeks after pregnancy and in postpartum. But I honestly didn't care. I was like, I cannot believe that my body was able to do this. I birthed an entire human being, and she's perfect, and I'm a mom now, and this is what matters the most. And that's coming from someone who's really healthy and lives a healthy, active lifestyle. The least of your concerns is going to be what you're looking like in this first few weeks postpartum. But eventually you're probably going to get to a point where you're like, okay, I need to get back to looking and feeling my best, which is understandable. And everyone cares about that to an extent. But if you're focused on just looking at yourself in the mirror every day and wondering, why don't I look any better? Why am I not seeing any progress? You're going to be going crazy. For me, I thought that I was going to be a lot more concerned with getting changes, because I had never gone through pregnancy. This is my first postpartum experience. But honestly, I just went right back into training. And the thing that I missed the most during those, for me, I started powerlifting again at 5 weeks. I was fully cleared to get back into workouts at 4 weeks. But what I missed the most was the feeling. I wasn't like, I can't wait to get back to looking how I looked before pregnancy. I was just like, I can't wait to get back to working out and getting stronger and feeling my best. And even though my strength isn't quite back to where it was, it's pretty close. And as I've gotten stronger with time, and as I've continued to find enjoyment through my workouts, no matter what those look like, no matter if they're interrupted with nursing sessions, if I take 3 takes to get my workout done. I'm in my home gym right now, so sometimes it's like crazy days. You never know what's gonna happen when you have a new baby, but feeling my best and training hard is something that is just, that's what I'm gonna be focused on. I'm not gonna be focused on looking at myself in the mirror and seeing if I look different than I did the day before. But if you're focused on how you're feeling and how you're performing, then you're eventually going to look different with time. And so I think just be gentle and be kind on yourself. You grew and birthed an entire human being. That is an amazing accomplishment. And even if you never get back to looking how you did before pregnancy, we're aging, we're humans, we're on this earth, we're living the human experience. The least interesting thing about you should be how you look. But you can feel your best, and you do deserve to look your best, and that should come through training hard and the habits that you're creating. So don't beat yourself up, be gentle, be gradual with your approach to your re-entry into fitness, and it will happen with time. Don't compare yourself, just focus on what you can do and not what you look like, and it will come with time. All right, now that I've done my mindset in terms of bouncing back and why I think you should be focused on performance and how you're feeling, over what you're actually physically looking like in the mirror. I'm gonna get into my 5 useful practical tips for bouncing back after pregnancy, because you still do deserve to look and feel your best after pregnancy. Tip number 1 is going to be drinking water like it is your full-time job. I'm filling this up constantly, day and night, making sure that I'm constantly staying hydrated. I'm peeing all the time, making sure before contact naps that I am emptying my bladder so that I can make it. And then also just liquid IVs. I'm drinking these twice a day. And life hack, if you mix the liquid IVs with sparkling water, they taste really, really good. And I do that twice a day, so keeping my hydration on point. And then the second easy tip that is in your control postpartum is making sure that you are eating like it is your full-time job. You do not want to be depriving yourself of nutrients. It's a very vulnerable time for your body, so now is not the time to be dieting. Your body will get back to where it needs to be eventually, but focus on eating healthy, high-calorie meals. Especially if you're breastfeeding, you're going to be burning about an extra 500 calories a day on top of everything that you do in the day. So making sure you're eating 3 big meals. I also eat 2 healthy snacks a day. Just made myself lunch. This is my lunch that I eat like every single day. I can do a full day of eating if you're curious, but those are the first 2 tips, the easiest in your control. Hydrate yourself and eat like it is your full-time job. Right, tip number 3 for bouncing back postpartum is going to be prioritizing sleep as much as possible. It's a really, really, really annoying thing to hear, especially when you're in those early depths of postpartum, because I've been there. I've been through those nights where I literally got no sleep whatsoever. But there are some things you can do that are in your control to get as much sleep as you possibly can. Bless you. Long gone are the days where you don't get a good night of sleep, so you're postponing your training session. You can train on less sleep than ideal. You can still be healthy, you can still work your body, and you can still, on those days that you're really, really not sleeping a lot, you can eat more, drink more water, and that's gonna help you feel a lot better. Don't try to be like too serious on yourself either. If I'm spiraling and I'm like counting up the hours of sleep that I'm getting, and I know it's not enough, which it's never been enough since I've given birth, but it's still progressed and gotten better over time. If I'm going to be counting that sleep and how much sleep I wish I got, it's not going to be a good situation. Your body can function on less sleep than you think, and you will adapt. I have not gotten a continuous day of sleep since I've given birth, and that's okay. I'm still getting as much sleep as I possibly can by going to bed at 7 p.m. when my baby goes to bed. Usually she wakes up at like 5:30 in the morning, so I'm in bed for like 10 and a half hours, and even though I'm waking up multiple times to nurse during the night, at least I'm still getting solid chunks of sleep whenever at all possible. If you can nap, I'm not a napper. I literally physically can't take a nap, then nap. And also having a safe co-sleeping setup is very helpful. This is what mine looks like. I sleep with just a very, very light pillow, and I'm blocking with my arm the pillow so that my baby is in front of my arm, and it's physically impossible to roll over onto your baby, making sure you're following safe 7. So if you have any cracks, any entrapment risks, making sure you're filling that, just sleeping with a light blanket, keeping that away from the baby as well. But nursing while you're sleeping is a lot better than trying to force yourself to stay awake in a rocking chair. And then step number 4 is going to be movement. So you're going to want to be walking as much as possible around the house, getting enough steps, carrying your baby around the house, going on walks, making it a part of your routine. We do carrier walks for the first nap of the day, and we've been doing that since about 1 month. Before that, we tried the bassinet stroller, which she did not like, but carrier naps are a really, really easy way to get your steps in and also make sure your baby's napping. And especially if you have a contact napping baby, you're able to do something other than just laying on the couch watching TV during that nap time, which is nice. As I mentioned for tip number 4, baby wearing is highly, highly helpful for getting a lot of movement, especially if your baby doesn't like the stroller. And speaking of not liking the stroller, when getting her used to the stroller, I actually started running again. Actually started enjoying it somewhat. I started running twice a week at 4 months postpartum. Now that I'm in comp prep, I'm only running once a week. But really, really fast, easy way to get a workout in that doesn't involve like 2 hours in the gym, even though I'm not taking that long now, but there was once a time. I'm getting my workouts done very efficiently, but running, very, very quick, easy way to get more movement in and get a really solid workout in a short amount of time. And lastly, tip number 5 for bouncing back postpartum is pretty obvious if you're watching my channel, because it's all I talk about in literally every single video. But be on an exercise program, and even if you only have 10-15 minutes to do something every single day, as long as you're progressing, getting better over time, like even if that just means doing some light push-ups, just do more push-ups every week. Or even if you have time for 2 exercises, get some light dumbbells for your house, do more reps with the same weight, and then get better. Like choose a couple exercises that are gonna be really, really optimal. Like do a reverse lunge, do a dumbbell press, and make sure you're lifting more reps with that same weight every week, or lifting heavier with time. That is how you're gonna get results with the very boring, repetitive, over time situation, as opposed to changing things up all the time. So home gym tour now. So now my home gym tour, it is underneath carpet. So I have carpet, and then I have plywood, and then I have the mats. Mats really make your home gym look very put together. I'm gonna go this way. So also another thing that makes your home gym look put together is a cable tower. This is the Bells of Steel cable tower, highly recommend. I have a safety bar squat. I have all the cable attachments, some blocks, bands, dip belt, dip attachment, the safeties down here, the landmine. This is a Rogue squat rack, and then I have a barbell. Some of this stuff I got during COVID too, so I've had it for a while. It's not the best Ethos brand. And then I just got like a bunch of dumbbells and plates from Walmart. So I have my weight tower, plenty of weights. I don't deadlift here just because it's not a lot of space. I always go into the gym for that. And then I have all the dumbbells from 10 pounds all the way up to 90s, but once I get to 60s, they're in 10-pound increments instead of 5. So I have 60s, the 70s are over here to keep the cable tower down, and then 80s and 90s. All right, on to the more exciting topic of the video, which is starting my powerlifting competition prep at 13 weeks out and 6 months postpartum. So I'll be just a few days shy of 9 months postpartum when I'm competing. And there's honestly never a perfect time to sign up for a meet. If you're thinking about doing one, this is your sign, just do it. There's never gonna be a perfect time. And even if you think there's a perfect time, something could throw a curveball on your prep. I've done 12 other preps, and every single time there's been at least one thing that kind of derailed it a little bit, but you still make the best of it, and it just turns out however you make of it. Even if you have like a really bad night of sleep, even if you have an injury, even if something doesn't go as planned, your squat doesn't go well, you can always turn it around and have a good day. And really, I just want to have a fun day over everything. I haven't done a peak in a really, really long time because I'm 6 months postpartum, so obviously haven't done one in the last 6 months, haven't done one in the 9 months of pregnancy before that either. So my last competition was in July of 2024, and I'm gonna overlay, if I haven't started doing that already, I'll overlay my most recent PRs at that competition. But really my goals are to get as close as possible to where I was on squat and bench, and then I'm gonna go for a deadlift PR, because I definitely think that based on where I'm at, I have a deadlift PR in the tank. It's been a while since I've PR'd my deadlift. At that last meet, I just nearly missed 375, so I wanna go for at least 375, if not a little bit more. And then I think I should be able to chip a total PR if I come really close to my squat and bench numbers as well. But I changed my bench touch point, so bench might be a little bit strugglesome. And then I think squat, even though it's feeling my weakest lift so far postpartum, it was my strongest during pregnancy. So I really don't know. I don't want to set myself into a rigid box of what my numbers should be. I'm keeping a really open mind, and overall I just want to have a fun day. I'm going to be timing naps and nursing sessions around the day, and just want to have a fun day with my daughter and my family, and just see what I can do. I think it's really, really important when you're a strength athlete to peak your strength, whether that's at a powerlifting competition or whether that's just in the gym. A really important part of just getting stronger is going through different phases. You want to go through volume phases where you're lifting a lot lighter for more reps. You want to go through strength phases, and you want to go through peaking phases. And then that's going to help you no matter what your goals are, even if you don't want to compete on the platform. So I'm going to be sharing my journey. I'm really excited to show all that over the next coming weeks. I'm going to do a video every single Tuesday. So I'll see you next week for another video, and let me know if there's any of these topics. I'm trying to talk really fast because she just woke up from her nap, and I'm trying to have a fun time with her and do some other things that don't involve filming. Obviously, this is just a very short clip. So anyways, thank you for watching. Let me know if there's any topics that you want to see in future videos, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye.